G'day guys, Mark and Sam after work here. I've got another one of my quick videos to explain a question, or something we quite commonly get is, why is that rifle so quiet? Or why is that gun so quiet? Why was the muzzle blast so quiet? The simple truth of it is no firearm, and powerful firearm, is quiet. When you put a suppressor on it might be. None of ours are. We're running muzzle brakes largely, but even when we're not, quite commonly they aren't that loud is what you can hear on the video. Well, I'm here to say that videos are not your ears. There's lots of things that are a little bit different. This is some of the cameras that we have on any one of our videos. We'll always have at least that sort of game of cameras, sometimes double that amount are in what's involved in our videos. But what you actually hear, what you're listening to largely, certainly the stuff that's at the shooter. So where you hear the firearm is these cameras here, or this camera here. This is the larger one for the long range stuff. That's the P1000 in the Nikon. This is the normal one we're using, which is still a very good camera with lots of zoom. It still has a 200 by zoom. But to be able to hear things so that you can hear it and I don't get complaints about wind noise, is we need a windsock. So that's one of the details that's going on. But what's actually going on is, with all videos and all recording, the cameras have an auto adjusting level inside them, a super fast auto adjusting level. So when they hear something, when the noise hits them, it's very high, like muzzle blast, like the bang of the firearm going off, they are noise cancelling. They rapidly bring that noise down to try and level it. Noise leveling, noise cancelling, auto leveling, all sorts of different names for it. I'm not a sound engineer, so I'm not going to try and explain it in any more detail than that. But what I can tell you is that on this camera here in particular, it's very fast the way it does that, so it brings it back down to where you haven't got a full big boom. And it not only does it capture the sound to start off with, it also then brings the auto leveling's going right down to where it slowly builds back up. So you'll hear a quiet time after the firearm has fired.
Got him!
Now there isn't a quiet time in actual fact at all. We tend to get noise ricocheting back from the hills and things that are around us. It's quite noisy in that moment afterwards, but your experience is quite the opposite. In some places when it's not windy and I can leave the sound from one of the cameras that's capturing our image on, and you'll hear more of those sounds. In most cases it's windy, and because most video cameras haven't got the option of having a sound like a windsock on them, it means that if I left that sound on, all you've got is horrible howling wind sounds as the wind rushes across the internal microphones. So it's something that is simply a nature of the logistics of what we're actually doing out there. We have this, you hear our talking, you hear the firearm, you hear all the bits and pieces, and it's got a windsock on it, but it does noise cancel. So they're not quiet firearms at all. It is just the nature of modern technology and how it auto levels. That's what you're actually listening to. So yeah, they're not quiet. They make a big sound. That's why I've got ear protection on. But your experience is a lot nicer one because of the modern technology. Anyway, I hope that makes some sense, guys. Thanks for checking in. We'll catch you next time.